Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, the Wagner group, the mercenary group or the private military contractor, they tried obviously to recruit employees from wherever it can. That's an open free market out there. And as long as you don't force people to join your group, your organization, your team, then there's nothing wrong with that. You offer them this and this and this, and they come and they take it or leave it. That's the beauty of a contract. Nobody makes you do things. So this article comes from Ukrainska Pravda, and it's from today, November 6th, 2022. Founder of Wagner PMC creates, and I'm quoting, militia training centers on border with Ukraine. Good. What's wrong with that? The Wagner private military company, headed by Yevgeny Prigozhin, has announced the creation of centers for, quote-unquote, training and command of the People's Militia, end quote, in Kursk and Belgorod Oblasts. Now, remember, Kursk and Belgorod Oblasts were from time to time attacked by Ukrainian helicopters and missiles, but maybe that's a point where they would have a lot of applicants. The source is Novoya Gazeta, Russian private news outlet citing Prigozhin's press service. Details. According to Prigozhin, the militia should consist of residents of those or these regions, and local businesses should be involved in the provision of the units. The training centers will be financed by Prigozhin himself. Now that's patriotism, don't you think? From his own money. Like Trump. Trump, let's say, would create some training centers somewhere along the border with Canada. I think Trudeau would put the army right across the border. Quote from Prigozhin. If you own a small factory that employs 100 people and 50 of them are mature males, then 25% should be serving in the trenches and 75% should continue doing their jobs. And so it goes. 1 week in the trenches, 3 weeks at home and work. But I think he's kind of misogynist here, or sexist, however you want to take it. He's just talking about mature males. Males. Why not females? I mean, after all, we're equal. More details. The Wagner head suggested awarding businesses that provide volunteers with high state awards as reward for their civic position. Why not? According to Prigozhin, and I'm quoting, in the trenches, everyone should have weapons, of course, by carrying arms, should be banned in residential areas and outside of combat zones. So, no rights to bear and carry arms like in the United States of America. That these guys are trying to limit that little right, a little amendment. Recently, the PMC Wagner Center, linked to businesses owned by Russian businessman Yevgeny Prigozhin, also known as Putin's chef, has started opening in St. Petersburg. Okay, well, they're expanding. Well, as long as there's no mandates, if you know what I mean, mandates, as long as there's no mandates, I think that's just fine. The moment when you have compulsion and you have little decrees signed by little dictators, here Putin in this case, but we didn't need Putin. We just had our elected officials. Then they could be made to do whatever they want against their will if they want to survive, because otherwise they will be fired from their jobs. So let's say a decree would sound like this. If you do not enroll in Prigozhin's Wagner mercenary group, we will fire you, in parentheses, and you will never be hired anywhere else, close parentheses, and you will be awarded 5 useless medals, and you would be allowed to be a citizen again. Until then, you will be forced to not participate in the society because you do not deserve that. Signed, elected official. All right, so I guess until we have that over there too, then I think it's all good. He suggests, Prigozhin, he's not making anyone do it against his will. And I think that's very discriminatory because they want only the male population to die, not anybody else, non-binary and tri-binary and females and all that, which I think is very discriminatory. Don't you think? I think so. And if we extrapolate, we can go to people that are, let's say, little people that cannot serve due to their different abilities they have. Or we can do it with obese people as well. So we discriminate against those two. So I think we should be inclusive, an inclusive society. I should call Prigozhin and let him know that he is violating so many human rights by excluding groups based on their different abilities. Okay? Because they're differently abled. All right. So what can I say? Putting the joke to the side, which I really don't want, because that means I have to be serious and I can get in trouble, which, all right, it's too late anyway. He's doing that. He's going to hire whomever. He's going to go and fight on the front for Mother Russia against United States through the unfortunate nation of Ukraine that's going to be decimated little by little by the elements and by the guns. But hey, when they will be reduced to nobody, then these guys will change the location of the circus in another town. Will move the circus with the clowns in another town, which could be another city, which could be the city of quote unquote Georgia, could be, I don't know, somewhere around Baltic states, could be moving it on across the Asian continent into North Korea. It could move it into how do you call that? Shanghai, not Shanghai, and Taipei. All right, gonna go to Taiwan. They can go to Kosovo. It seems like that's the next in line. Iran is always on the list. They have troops in the sovereign country of Syria. So there's so many areas where all these guys could be used and activated by the guy, and the guy will not be hurt. Everybody else will be hurt, but the guy will not be touched. That's the whole thing. The guy is just far away, directing its little, as I said, with a whip and with a pole. That's how you do with a tiger in a cage. You got the whip and a pole, and you poke the tiger, you whip the tiger, and tiger fights with the pole and the whip, not with you, until it realizes, hey, it's you, and jumps on you. Then, yeah, it's one-on-one, and you get eaten. All right, well, Prigozhin is doing what he knows best, make a profit, and in the meantime serves his country. Good or bad? Good for his country, bad for the other ones. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.